Hey, today I'm going to be installing door courtesy lights on the 9th gen Honda Accord. Now, only V6 comes with the light on the door. Every other trim doesn't. There is a cutout for it, as you can see right here. And you can go ahead and remove this by just grabbing from the bottom and then pulling out. And if you take a look, it's empty and there's no bulb or socket in here. And when you remove the door, there is also no wire harness that's attached to this. So don't think that, oh, all you need to do is go ahead and purchase a socket and a bulb. You actually have to make your own wire harness. And so it doesn't exist back here for any of the model other than V6. And so these are all the tools and parts that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this socket on this particular door because this is what most of you guys are going to purchase or is cheaper, I guess. So this is a door, this is a T10 connector, and I'm using 18 gauge wire. You can use 20, 22, that's fine. And I'm using wire strippers here, tape, LED, because I'm going to be replacing with LED. This is the EX LED. Door courtesy lights is a EPT sealer. It's just foam to wrap this so that it doesn't rattle inside, to minimize that just in case. Using zip ties, wire loom if you have it, you know, so that I can make the wire harness look OEM as possible. And if you want to use the OEM part and not this connector, you can purchase this one. I'll put in the link in the description as well. It comes with the T10 connector at the end and this wire harness right here. But again, this is not going to be plug and play. You just have to cut the plug off, and so you can use it, and then in the back of the wire, solder in your wire as I did, like this one. But this is like $5. This is like $5 each or $10 each, something like that. So for those of you that just wants to save some money, you can get this one. This one will work just as well. And here's the part number for the clear lens. This is for the V6, and I'm going to be using a data fuse kind of deal under the driver's side fuse box to power the lights. And you just need pliers, and I'm going to be using some T-connectors because, again, on my particular car, I'm actually going to be soldering all the joints, but on this tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to use with these, which are readily available and very inexpensive to get. And a pry tool and a screwdriver, and also some kind of grease, either WD-40 grease, or I'm using this, and also a coat hanger, so then you can feed the wire through the boot that's over here and into the cabin. Some people will just, you know, get the wire and just put it out here instead of feeding it in, but this is for a clean install. I'm gonna feed it through the boot, rubber boot in here, and then route it all the way across to the driver's side. Okay. Now the first thing you have to do is remove this door panel. Yeah, I'm going to quickly go over how to take off the door panel. I have another video that shows in detail how to take it off, so please go check that out. The first thing we're going to do is remove this panel up here. Okay, to remove this, I'm just going to take a pry tool and wedge it in between and pry it out like so. Now turn it around. If you have the EX model and up, that you have the tweeter here, go ahead and disconnect this in the back. There is a tab that you push to take this out. It's on this inside. There's a tab on the inside, so you push the tab and take it out. And so that's what you push right here. There's this part right here. You have to remove this, get a small screwdriver, and there is a slot, indentation slot that's up here, and you can go ahead and remove that. So push it all the way in your slot, and then pull it forward, and that's the clip that you have to push. And behind there, there's one screw here and one screw right there. So those are the two screws that you have to remove. Okay, now we have to get to a screw that's back here. You have to pry this up. In order to do that, you can get like a small slot screwdriver and stick it back here. And then you need to pry this up because there is a screw right there that you have to remove. Okay, and right here you have to remove this little trim piece right here, because behind here will be a screw. And also this piece right here, there's a little notch on this side. You gotta take this out, and there'll be a screw down here also. And then the screw is down here, right there. So you gotta remove that. And this one up here, there's a notch in the bottom right here. There's a screw back right there. So we removed the two screws up there, a screw that's in here, also the two screws, one on each side in here. There's one here and here. You can go ahead and pry this whole door apart. I have a pry tool here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wedge it in between this part back here, or if you don't have it, then just stick your finger back here and you should be able to still pry it out. This, and so this will be hanging like so. Now a few things, now that you got all the clips undone, before you go ahead and remove it, there's a few things that you need to know. First of all, you need to know that there's wire harness that's back here, and so you have to undo the wire harness in order to remove it completely off the vehicle. And also you have to remove this door handle part that's being held. So now I'm going to just lift this up, and comes out, but as you can see in the back, it's held on by this cable for the door handle, and also in the bottom right here is for the power window lock and switch, and that's down here that you have to undo. In order to undo this one right here, there's, if you look in this door handle, there's clips. You'll see this metal clips that's here that you have to press, and this whole thing will pop out. You don't have to undo any of the cables, you just have to undo the clips that's right here that holds this in place. So let that head dangle for now. And down here you'll see a white tab. Okay, now these were the tabs that I pressed to remove the door handle parts, like those metal pieces right there. There's 3 of them. Now you see this little part that's holding on the door or control panel, the window control panel. You see this little tab? What you do is you push this down and this will slide. You push this down and this will slide up in like that. Okay, again, you push that little notch down and you slide it up, and it'll come out, and then you can go ahead and take out the connector. Okay, here is the door completely removed. Now before I do anything else, just in case I need to close the door, what I'm gonna do is take my door handle and put it up in the screw, and at least put one screw through to hold this in place. Or else, if you were to close the door without putting this in here with the door off, you're probably gonna have a really hard time opening the door. So make sure you do this part right here to make sure you put the screw in there. Now, this is what I've done already. Down here, this wire with the gray tape is your OEM wire harness that runs to your door switch and also to your power window. Now this wire up here, this little one that I added, is for the door courtesy lights. Added a T10 connector like so, soldered in 2 lead, black and red, positive and negative, as you can see that's back here, and then wire loomed it, and then just put some EPT sealer so it doesn't rattle against any of the metal pieces, and then I routed it and zip tied it to the original wire harness I was running here and into the back. The slot is already there for the original wire harness to come out, so I routed it to the back and taped it against here, and this is where it comes in. Now I fed everything through the speaker hole. So what I did was I removed the speaker right here. It's just one screw up top right here. Okay. And you lift it up and you pull it out, lift it up like that. And then go ahead and remove the speaker plug. You just squeeze the two sides and then this will come out. The original wire harness is back here, as well as this is the harness that I added. I put electrical tape around the wire because I did notice that the water does get in through here, through the window, and so just make sure everything is sealed up. And then what I did was I put the wire through the boot using a coat hanger and grease. I greased up the new wires and then put it through the boot so that it's not sitting outside. And then it comes inside the cabin up here, and then I tapped it to the door sill light that's right here, meaning the door switch. And the door switch, meaning is this one right here, the door switch. And back here would be one wire that goes down here, down to the door sill right here, and it ends up back here. And so I went ahead and took this apart, took this out, and then took this kick panel off, and then I was able to tap it to the wire that's back here. And the way that I put through here was, again, I put a coat hanger through in this hole, and then through here you can see where the boot comes in down here, and then I put it through here and it went up and in and inside the once cabin. I routed all the wires and did my wire loom with the cable sleeve and then did the T10 connector, I went ahead and connected my speakers back up and reinstall everything the way I took it out. Here's the back where the new slot's gonna go, so I'm gonna take the new one that I had made and then just put it into the slot and it'll snap into place like so. And then I'm gonna take my door handle and I'm gonna put it back. There are slots like right here, that's where, you can see 1, 2, and 3, the opening, that's where the metal clips goes through. Just line it up and you should hear it click back in. And then I'm gonna take my connector for the power windows and connect it back into the slot. Just push it all the way in. The white plastic part will automatically adjust to the closed position like that, so you hear the click. And then the next step is to go ahead and put it up here. Next step is to put the door back into the slot that's up first, on the top first. However, you see this rubber seal. You want to make sure this rubber seal is actually behind this door sill right here. It shouldn't be facing out like this. It should be inside this thing. Okay. Right now it's sitting on the outside part. So lift it up. Make sure it goes behind here and here. Same thing on this side. Same thing on this side as well. Make sure it goes behind this thing. Okay. And then push it down to latch it on the door frame. Make sure if you have a tweeter connection that is sticking out here so that you can put the connection back on. And then go ahead and push down and just tap it in so that all the clips go back into its slot. Like that. And then go ahead and put all the screws back on. And then put your plates back on. Go ahead and remove this black cover. Just grab it from the bottom. There'll be where this indentation part is, like where there's a cutout is. You can just grab it by the bottom and put your finger there and just pull straight towards you and up. I'm just doing it with my fingers. Like that. And down. And back in here now is the new socket. Now you can go ahead and put a regular incandescent bulb in there, but I want all my lights to match, so I have the EX LED. I did a product review on this. And for the coupe, as you can see, it's horizontal. So I'm going to make sure this goes in. And as you can tell, it's already lighting up because all the wiring is done. And then I'm going to take my new lens cover. And then again, I'm going to put the top in first, actually, like so. And then push up on the bottom to snap it in place like that. Now part 2 of this video would be the wiring. I just didn't want to combine part 1 and part 2 because it's going to be lengthy. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos.